The 16th element on the periodic table of elements is sulfur. Welcome back to Norris Teaches Science with me, Mr. Norris. This is a physical science edition video. Today we're going to talk about naming ionic binary compounds. So your goal of this video is that I can determine the name of an ionic binary compound. So naming binary compounds, what does that mean? What does binary mean? Well, if you look at the word binary, you have this prefix bi. Bi means two. So it's two elements, only two element symbols. Now, when you're naming binary compounds, they could be covalent, which means two nonmetals, or ionic, which means one metal and one nonmetal. For this video, we're going to just name the ones that are ionic. That means that there's going to be one metal and one nonmetal. Now, once you watch this video, the one on covalent and the one on polyatomic, you do have to make sure you know which steps to use because each one has different steps to naming. This is where chemists like to be a little specific. So when you're looking at this, the first thing you ask are, how many symbols do I see? If you only see two, then you have to ask, is one metal and one non-metal? If that's the case, then you're going to follow these steps. You're going to write the name of the first element. So you're going to look on the periodic table, you're going to write the name of the first element, and then you're going to write the name of the second element. Then the second element has to have its ending changed to IDE. And then you're going to just kind of combine this all together. And I'm going to show you some examples. Now, pause the video right now, make sure you get a periodic table in front of you so you can follow along and you can practice this as well. Now, in changing references, these are the common ones that we use in physical science. Chlorine goes to chloride. Oxygen goes to oxide. Nitrogen goes to nitride. Sulfur goes to sulfide. Phosphorus goes to phosphide. Bromine goes to bromide. Iodine goes to iodide. And fluorine goes to fluoride. This is really important. You do need to have these memorized just because they're not always going to be given to you on some type of reference sheet. So you're going to need to have these memorized. So let's do two practices. The first one, we look here, how many symbols do we see? I see two capital letters. That means it's two symbols. All right, this first one is a metal. The second one is a non-metal. So we're going to follow the steps I just did in this video. All right, so the first step says we name the first one, Ca. If you look on the periodic table, that is calcium. The second step says we name the second element. Look on the periodic table. What element is O? That is oxygen. Then the third step says that we need to change the ending of the second element to IDE. And so oxygen is the second element. Usually you only change the ending to a non-metal. So we cross it off. We do IDE. And then we're going to rewrite everything to make it look nice. It says calcium oxide. And that's the name of this compound. Pause this video real quick. Try to do number 2. Did you try it? All right, let's go over see if you actually got it right. So first off, how many capital letters do you see? I see 2. That makes it binary. Now, is the first element a metal? Yes. Al is a metal. So that's a metal is F. The second one a non-metal. It is. So this is ionic. I know it seems redundant to say that when you know these are ionic practices, but this is just stuff you need to start saying to yourself while you do this. So the first step is we name the first element, Al. Al is aluminum. And I always struggle to spell this, so I have this written down on a piece of paper right now, so I know I spell it correctly. Then we name the second element. Second element is F. F is fluorine. Then we change the ending of the second element, fluorine, to IDE. So take INE off and make that IDE. Then we rewrite everything to make it look better. Aluminum fluoride. And that's the answer here. And that's how you name binary ionic compounds. We're going to have other videos about the other types of compounds that you would see in physical science. We will not do ones that involve the transitional metals because they have extra steps to them. But if you want to know more about them, go look up that on Google. But I hope you learned something today. And this is Miss Norris, and he's signing out for this video.